and welcome to the GrapeSEED Official Podcast. We have a guest on today's deep dive, something we haven't done since Matthew joined us back on podcast 41 on classroom management. Today we welcome back Bruno Di Stefano, who did one of the early GrapeSEED Friends episodes, number 33. So check that out if you haven't heard it yet. He has a great sense of humor. So welcome to the podcast, Bruno.
Hey, Adam. Glad to be here. And what are we talking about today?
Today's topic is something a lot of schools have to deal with, getting new teachers settled into their school. Of course, when teachers are hired, they receive GrapeSEED training, but there is a lot more that teachers will need to do at their own schools to get ready to be effective teaching GrapeSEED. Bruno is a many-year veteran who has helped many new teachers settled into his school, so I invited him back on to share some of his advice with us. If you're a veteran teacher, hopefully you can take away some ideas to help the next new teacher at your school be ready to be effective as they start their new role. As always, any of these ideas are things to take back and talk with your school management about. In many cases, schools have training paths or policies already in place to help prepare new teachers. The ideas presented here are to think about and consider adding. So Bruno, I hear you're in the process of this right now. How has it been going, and what have you found that has been helpful?
Well, so far, as with any new teacher, it's a process, especially with new teachers who don't have a lot of experience. So I always try to, many teachers have strengths and weaknesses. First, I like to, focus on their strengths because that helps them gain confidence. That's very important. And then also, conversely, focus on their weaknesses to make them a better teacher. So, for example, if a teacher is good at singing songs or, classroom management, I would really tell them they're doing a good job with that. And then on the other end, if they're having problems with, carrying out objectives in a certain song or poem or whatever, we can also focus on that instead. So you need a balance. It can't always just be like, this is all very good, yay! Or conversely, it'd be like, you're not doing a good job. So it needs to be a mix of both. Also, being straightforward and honest with the new teacher. I don't like to mince words. I like to get to the point. You see what a lot of people, they call it the
compliment sandwich.
The compliment sandwich. I mostly prefer an open face sandwich. So it's more like a compliment and a criticism. Because it's just, I know it's coming. We're all adults here. So let's just get to the point. It's also good to be clear with your goals. Just tell them what is expected. Mm-hmm. Being realistic with their existing goals, with their existing skills, and your knowledge of the new teacher. For example, if they are a new teacher, then you have to take a different approach as opposed to someone who has lots of experience. Then maybe you're going to adjust how you onboard that new teacher. Mm-hmm. And onboarding too, may I say, I'd never heard this word before until you contacted me, but thank you. And I think I went over this. You got to give encouragement when needed and criticism when needed. And also not just giving criticism and encouragement, but listening to the new teacher, because sometimes you can learn new stuff from a new teacher. And also they may tell you something that maybe you're doing wrong. Maybe your approach is not exactly the best approach. So you have to be open to criticism yourself. And also you need to be flexible, because every school has their own philosophy and preferred classroom management and teaching techniques. So some schools, for example, their classroom management is, let's all have fun. Things are a bit wild and go with it. Whereas other schools, they're more strict. They want a more traditional kind of classroom setting. So you need to work within those parameters. Yes. I think I covered what I wanted to say. What do you think, Adam?
No, it's totally great. That last one's really important, because talking with your school, if they're not clear with you when you're hired, understanding what the school's philosophy is and where they are on that spectrum as you're talking about. And if you're another teacher at the school, trying to help that new teacher understand where they are, if they seem to be a little bit confused as to where they fall on, does the school really want strict classroom management or a little bit more loose? just knowing where that is and helping new teachers figure that out.
Yes, yes. And I think, as having worked at my school for 13 years now, but also talking to other teachers at GrapeSEED seminars and whatnot, you see that, yeah, a lot of schools have very different philosophies. So that's definitely important. So,
what is something that hasn't been as helpful onboarding new teachers?
Oh, I do lots of things that aren't helpful. No. Maybe, who knows? So one thing, as someone who's been teaching for a long time, is often you'll compare yourself to the new teacher, or compare the new teacher to yourself. So you think, why is this person not doing how it's supposed to be done? Or why aren't they managing that classroom how it's supposed to be done? I can walk in there and do it just like that. Easy, no problem. So you have to, some people just have very little experience. So you just need to understand that and not make that be your expectations. And these things take time.
Goodbye, my friends, goodbye. I'm sad to say goodbye. It was a good day, but now I will say goodbye, my friends, goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.